All right, folks, welcome back to the Adobe Live Game Show. How is everybody doing today? My name is VooDoo Val, and I'm going to be your host for this super cool segment that is fairly new. We've done a couple of these, and I'm really excited to kind of jump back into the next installation of it. How are you folks doing? If there's anybody new in the chat today, or anyone who's not new to Adobe Live but has never seen this game show, please holler at me, let me know, because I'm going to kind of dive into some housekeeping points and let you folks know what is up, how to participate, basically how this goes, all that good stuff here pretty shortly. And I'm super excited just to kind of hear if anyone knows what's going on right now. I see Julia Masaska in the chat. It is good to see you, girl. Thank you so much for being here. I see Paco in the house. Val in the house, yes, not just Val. VooDoo Val is here, and VooDoo Vanderdorf is here this morning. And you're gonna get to talk to her pretty soon, which I'm very excited about. But hi Fuzz, what's up? Frank, it's good to see you. Wade, it is great to see you, my friend. I see Void in the chat, I see Karem. Welcome in, everybody. If you are over on YouTube and you have no idea who the heck I'm greeting because you don't see these names in the chat, that is because I am over on behance.net/live reading the Behance chat. So if you'd like to talk with me, if you'd like to be in the place you need to be at in order to get the helpful links and resources that the moderator is going to be linking, and make some friends and join the party, please head over to Behance because that's where all of the excitement is. Sony says, I can't wait. Mwendwa, thank you so much for being here. It's Mwendua's first time here. I'm super excited that you are joining us. It's also Misty's first Adobe Live Game Show. I'm pumped. I'm super pumped. So I'm gonna kind of jump into how this works. So this is a kind of a variety game show where whenever we do the show, I actually have spun the wheel of design, the magical spinny wheel that we have for this show to determine what our medium is going to be that we are going to be working with for the show. So the last episodes that we did, I spun the wheel and we had a choice between working on graphic design for the next episodes or video editing, and I've decided to actually combine the two. So today we're going to be doing some graphic design. We're going to be spinning a wheel that will give us random keywords that we're going to use to inspire us to create some assets and things that we will need to work on some video editing in Adobe Rush tomorrow. I'm really excited about it. What I'm going to do for you folks over the couple of days is not just editing a video, but I'm going to show you my process, how I go about actually creating a tutorial video for YouTube. So if you've never created a tutorial before, or video editing to kind of show off your creative process or make a video in general is something that you struggle a little bit with, I think at the end of today and tomorrow you will have a better handle on maybe how to proceed in your own process creating content for yourselves, for your own YouTube channels and social media, and I'm super pumped for it. Crowd chant, spin that wheel. Yes, yes, yes. It's good to see you, Panda. Welcome in. Good to see you. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Austin. Yeah, got a lot of first timers here. I'm very excited. Yes, we are going to jump into it. So let me pull up what I've got for you folks today. All right. So as you can see down here at the bottom, like I said, we're going to be drawing some keywords. So I'm going to pull up the wheel of design in just a moment. And so all of these, this line of keywords down here that says like blobs, movement, storytelling, all that stuff, that is going to change. We're going to choose some brand new ones. And then I'm also going to change the medium to graphic design and video editing. So let me pull that up real quick, and then I'm going to pan over to the epic spinning wheel so you folks can see how cool that is. And then another thing I'd like to let you know, all of you folks are welcome to participate with me. I would love, love, love to see your work, to see what you folks can come up with according to all of the fabulous words that we're going to be drawing today from the wheel. And not only that, but we have a channel for it actually in the Discord. So if you'd like to get involved and you'd like to actually create something along with me today, not only can you post your work in the Discord, you can actually get your work featured on here at the end of our 2 episodes. I'll go through the Discord and show off all the awesome work. And not only do you get a shout out and get to be featured, for every 10 submissions that I get during these shows, I will spin the hype wheel and we will enter hype mode, which means in the middle of the project, I have to incorporate a brand new keyword randomly out of the blue and see if I can make it work, which just kind of throws me a curveball, which I think is actually super fun. It's a good time. So let me pull this up real quick and I'm gonna show you folks how we get this started. So this is the Discord link. If you go to bit.ly/PS Discord, making sure that P and S are capitalized, you will find a channel called Game Show. And that Game Show channel looks a little something like this. I'm gonna pull it up here for you so you all can get a good look at it. So this is our Discord. I'm actually gonna pop myself over here to the right hand side so you can see there's this little game show challenge right here, ta-da! And I've posted our CC library so that you folks can get a hold of all the assets and things that I create along the shows for today and tomorrow. You guys are free to use those assets. They're free for you to use for other unrelated projects, whatever you want. You guys can take any of the textures or things that I create from these shows and incorporate them into your own projects if you need assets or anything at all. They're yours. And another thing that you can do is you can suggest, because this is a game show, not only do we have a spinning wheel and we have challenges and we have curveballs to throw, we also have fake kind of fictional sponsors that come through for the show. And my doppelganger VooDoo Vanderdorf likes to announce our sponsors. So we do actually have a community suggested sponsor for today, which I'm going to announce now, or I'm going to pass it over to my co-host VooDoo Vanderdorf, who's going to tell you who has sponsored this week's episodes. All right, so give me one moment here. I'm going to call her up and then we're going to dive into today's show. All right. Game show, it's the Adobe Live Game Show. Game show, it's the Adobe Live Game Show. Alright folks, hi, VooDoo Vanderdorf here, and today's episode is brought to you by Gareth from our community and the VALdelorians. Do you have a strange, smallish goblin baby that needs help being ferried from one edge of the galaxy to the next? Do you also need protection for that strange frog child from various Empire personnel and other creatures who may want to steal or kidnap it? Well, if you do, folks, I've got news for you. You can call the VALdelorians today for all your death-defying childcare needs. And back to you, VooDoo. Game show, it's the Adobe Live Game Show. All right, thank you so much, VooDoo Vanderdorf. I appreciate you so much, and thank you to Gareth and the VALdelorians for sponsoring this show. We appreciate all the hard work you do protecting strange goblin childs and little baby Yodas in the galaxy. We really couldn't do it without you. Thank you very much. If you would like to be featured as our next episode sponsor, please post any funny ideas that you have into the Discord, because I would love to give you a shout out and make you guys smile. All right. This is the way. This is where was I signing that line? Oh yeah. I did get the idea from you folks, but I get to kind of ad-lib a little bit, and it's a good time. So what do you guys say about spinning the wheel of design? Are you guys ready for that? Are you guys pumped? Are you ready to see what the heck we're going to be doing for today? What our theme and our keywords are going to be? Because I am super excited. So let's pop over real quick to our wheel, and I'm going to pull up our keywords, and we're going to do a little bit of keyword editing here and plug in what we're going to be working on for today. So this is our wheel of design. Ta-da! With the side, ta-da! And hopefully I can spin this and we're not going to get a weird ad like the very first time I tried to debut this show. But I'm going to spin for 6 keywords, and we're going to see what we can cook up along those lines. All right, so let's spin. Let's do our first spin. Let's see what we got. Cool tones. Cool tones. All right, let me plug that in. I'm gonna plug in cool tones. Cool tones. Ta-da! All right. So we got cool tones. Let's see what else we got. Huh? Let's see. Storytelling. We've done storytelling before, but we'll go ahead and add storytelling for now. And then if we want to re-roll, if you guys feel like you want to re-roll, then we will do that. Let's see what we can get next. Number three. Minimalism. Okay, cool tones, minimalism. So let me type in minimalism. Ta-da! Okay, minimalism. Let's go for number 4, shall we? Blobs. All right. We've had blobs before as well, but we can replace them if we want to, because there's quite a few things on this list. Blobs. Okay. Let's see what else we have. We got 2 more to go. Poster. Okay, that's interesting. This is going to be fun. Okay, let's add poster. Because we're doing assets for video editing, so it's going to be interesting to see how we can figure this in. And then lastly, let's see. Let's do our last one. Event. Okay, so that's kind of easy because we got poster and event here. We're going to be doing a video editing thing, but maybe we are doing video editing for an event, like showing off an event, because I'm kind of going to go like the tutorial route, but maybe we're making an event poster and everything is kind of themed based on like the kind of branding you might see for an event, so we can see kind of how that goes. So let's plug event in there, and then you folks let me know in the chat, since we did use storytelling and blobs before, would you like to re-roll and see if we get anything new? It's really up to you. Because this is a show for your entertainment. Minimalism, my worst nightmare. I know, because you folks know that I love me some creative chaos. So respin. All right, let's respin. Let's do it. Let's go for it. Let me pull this up right quick. Let's do it. Respinning. Nature. Okay, interesting. So I'm gonna plug that in, nature, boom. And then let's respin for that second one that was a duplicate and see if we get something new. We've done building before, so I will respin. Also, if you would like to suggest some keywords to put on this wheel, you can. Okay, food. All right, this is actually kind of interesting. So we have cool tones, minimalism, nature, food, poster, and event. So honestly, right off the bat, I'm already kind of seeing in my head that this could be like an outdoorsy food tasting kind of thing, and maybe we are doing maybe we don't do a video tutorial on or a video editing project on creating a tutorial. Maybe it's a tutorial on how to create like a promotional video that has, you know, things that kind of slide in left to right to post to social media if you need to create some kind of motion graphics to promote an event that, you know, maybe a client comes to you and says, I need something moving, something visual to promote this event in general. So let's maybe we'll go that route with it. Feel free to post any ideas that you have in the chat, because I would love to hear your take on maybe what your brain is telling you for this sort of thing. We're going to dive into the graphic design portion of this, like I mentioned, for today, and tomorrow we're going to be getting into Rush to kind of make things move around. But yeah, this is what I'm going to go for today. So I'm going to go ahead and save this so that it plugs in to all of our little spaces in our overlay. And if I pop over here, our new, yep, there they are, our new keywords are plugged in right there. And I am also going to go ahead and add, well, we're doing graphic design today, so I'll leave it as graphic design, and tomorrow I will change it to the video editing. All right, so I'm gonna pop over into Photoshop. Let's get this cooking. Let's get this going. Minimalistic food, cool tones, Soylent Green. The Soylent Green is people. All right, let me close down my Discord and pull up my Photoshop, and pop over here. All right. So as I said before, I do have all of our assets and things from our previous episodes listed in the Discord, the game show channel in the Discord, in the Photoshop Discord for you folks. It is actually pinned, so if ever you need to return to that because you don't have that link anymore, you can always go up to the top of the Discord like this. I will actually show you. you'll be able to click on this pinned messages thing, and you will be able to see right here, hello everyone, pinning the CC library, and you will be able to click here. And as you can see in my CC libraries, I have this organized by, we have week 1, episode 1, so everything that we worked on. Then I have the colors and stuff from week 1, episode 2. And today, this is week 2, episode 1. So I've got a file open. Photoshop, yes. Food truck tour, I love it. Leah Jackson, I love it, I love it. Okay, so I've got this kind of 1920 by 1080 sized screen up because I'm thinking, you know, if we're gonna do, we could just do like a standard video size and kind of create some assets along those lines. And I have multiplied it, so if I go into my image settings, you can see that I've actually, let me come up here to image, image size. You can see it's actually 38 by 40, 3840 by 2160. So it's just multiplied the 1920 by 1080 times 2. So it's a little bigger, gives me a little more resolution while I'm working. And like last time, my process when it comes to like deciding that I'm gonna start a new project actually contains a lot of sketching. So I like to sketch around, kind of get my ideas down on my canvas and figure out what exactly I'm gonna do. So we've got cool tones, minimalism, nature, food, poster, event, and I think that the idea that was placed in chat by Leah Jackson is a great idea, like food truck tour. So, if we're gonna be doing like video editing and do some motion and some cool stuff, we'll make like a short promo to put on like YouTube, like almost like a trailer or something. What are some of the assets that we should have? This is kind of a good opportunity to maybe get into the storyboarding process when you're trying to plan what a video is going to look like. And so in my head, the first thing that I think is like, okay, we're going to have some sort of title, because when somebody comes to watch our video, they're going to want to know right off the bat, like, what is this video about? So we're going to have, you know what I'm going to do is I am going to make myself some little screens. I'm going to zoom in here. And I am going to do something like this. I'm gonna make myself some little boxes here that represent the steps and phases of what we want to present. And I've made my little box. I'm going to say, Control-Shift-N to make a new layer, and I'm gonna group these two together by selecting them both and hitting Control or Command-G to group them. And that just gives me the template for the little box I drew, and then a layer to kind of put the content in. So we're gonna wanna have a title. So we know that we want to let everybody know that comes to our video what exactly they're there to learn about. So we'll have like a title, maybe front and center, when you arrive at our video. So we'll make a graphic, like a title graphic of what this food truck tour is going to be called. And then let's duplicate this group. This is just like a quick and easy way to kind of start storyboarding out. Then maybe we make some kind of graphic that shows like, where is this? How do you purchase tickets? How do you attend this event? And where can you find out more information? So maybe that second page in, you know, that second transition in that video has a little more information. So I'm just gonna put, this is just my personal brain notes that I know I want some extra info here. Maybe there's like a logo of some kind up here, I don't know. Maybe the title itself will kind of move up, and then there will be like a logo for the event right there. And then maybe we do one more slide that is just, let me kind of actually move this over to give myself some more room, because I'm just going to put 4 slides, I think. Let's kind of bump these over and then bump these up. There we go. Because I want to make some good space here. Boom. Let's grab just this one, bump that over like that. And then let's grab this third one, kind of put it right here. And then we'll duplicate it one more time. Do we have room for that? We kind of have room for that. Let's put it like there, snag all of these, and we'll do kind of a centering thing. That's good enough for me. Maybe we'll make them all. There we go. Okay, so the third one, maybe all that stuff sort of disappears, and let's hide this. And then maybe we have some sort of fun animation, like a fun graphic or something that will pop up. I don't know what that would be. We're gonna kind of concept that out and see what that looks like. Maybe it's something where we have this poster kind of keyword that we need to use. So maybe we actually make it something that looks like a community corkboard, like a town square corkboard, and there's like a poster on this corkboard that has information on it, and then you're kind of looking at the information, and then maybe there's some other little Post-it notes that are kind of scattered around, and we just make it look cute like that. Like that could be an idea, you know, so we have that, and then maybe it will fade down into a final fade out page that just has like the date, okay? You know, just to remind you, you know, last of all, this is when that event's gonna be. In my head, this is like kind of the information you would need, right? To let people know that we're doing an event. This is what it's called. This is where you can find more information about it. Here's something fun that just makes you excited about what is going on, to kind of get people into the mood of being pumped about whatever this is. And then finally, before we take off, there's one last final reminder. It's gonna be on this day, so don't forget to mark your calendars, that sort of thing. I've never used Rush. You think it'll work better on my Samsung 9 than Premiere Pro will on my old computer? I couldn't tell you, Stony, with like absolute confidence without knowing the specific specs of your computer and like going and doing some research, you know, of how Premiere would work on your specific system. But I can say from my personal experience, Rush is easier for me to use because I've used Premiere Pro, I've dabbled, and I've done like full-length videos in Premiere before, but Premiere is not, like, video editing comes secondary to my illustration and graphic design work. And so being able to dive into Rush, not only is it a less hefty program and should run better on most systems anyways, but it's also much easier for me to understand. So I always encourage people to try Rush, which I hope that maybe you folks will download Rush and test it out for the purpose of these episodes if you decide you'd like to join me. But I think that you will probably like it, and I'm gonna dive into like as much as I possibly can in Rush and help you folks get a really good handle on it tomorrow. So you'll be able to answer your questions for yourself tomorrow, I think, if you test it out, or today if you download the trial. So, all right. So we have our idea. So now let's figure out what kind of assets we're gonna need to create for this. So we know that we need to definitely create an event title. So I'm just gonna type or write event title. I'm just making myself a little list here of things, okay? So I know I need an event title. We need a color palette too, and we do have to do cool tones, but I'm just gonna write colors. We need to set colors. We need to do like a title thing. We need maybe an event logo to make this look super legit. We need maybe that page in that third screen. We need to kind of composite together some kind of background that makes everything look like super legit, in that it's, you know, kind of gives that like outdoorsy fun feel of like, this is a fun thing that you can come and do outside, that sort of thing. So we're gonna say outdoorsy background, and We also need, I'm gonna put slash fonts here because that's, you know, kind of just developing our style guide sort of thing. So event title, event logo, outdoorsy background. We need to make sure that we lock in our colors and fonts. And then what else do you guys think would be really important to kind of have for a promotional video like this? Clever says, get in the trail mix. Get in the mix, and then, oh, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. So maybe it's like an outdoor event promoting like quick and easy recipes to test out and try for people who love outdoor trips, you know? So I really like that. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna make a note of that. Get in the trail mix. That's adorable. I love it. I really love it. I'm gonna put a little star there just so that I know. There's our working title. We'll call it this unless somebody else comes up with one we like a little bit better. Okay. So I'm gonna leave it at this list. If we come up with some other assets that we need to have created for tomorrow along the way, I will start adding them. But let's kind of start out with what we're going to need. And I feel like we should kind of look at some fonts. So some fonts, maybe some colors. That's, I think, is the starting point for me. That's how my process works. Okay, so let's make a new layer here, and I am actually going to pull up Adobe Fonts and Adobe Color. So let's jump over. I'm going to pull up my my browser here. Let's go fonts.adobe.com. We'll look at some fonts, and then let's go to color.adobe.com. I feel like maybe we should choose colors first. So let's see. Oops, I'm clicking accidentally my Pinterest button, trying to exit out of this, and I don't want to do it. There we go. Okay, so let's pull up Adobe Color. So this is Adobe Color. If you've never used Adobe Color before, it's really fabulous because you can come in here and you can look at trends, you can explore colors, you can create color palettes for yourself, and then you can actually, as you can see up here in this top right-hand corner, you can save color palettes to Adobe libraries straight from your browser, and then have them prepared in your Photoshop immediately, which is what we're going to do right now. We're just going to send it straight to the library that I have shared with you folks so that you all have the colors ready to use if you're working along with me today. So let's come in here and let's go to like Explore. So you can see we've got pictures that other people have uploaded that they have kind of sampled colors from, which is really cool. But I want something that says outdoor event. Right? We want to create something that has like kind of that nature flow. We want cool tones. So I'm just gonna go ahead and type in outdoor cool tone. Let's just see what that comes up with. And it actually comes up with some really nice stuff. This is interesting, this one here that has like these nice cool tones and then a splash of warm. We do have to use cool tones, but there's nothing in the rules that says we can't also add like one highlight color. So maybe we go that route. We could also make it like a nighttime event, like an evening camping kind of thing, which would be really interesting. I love Extract Theme. It's amazing when you need to develop a palette. Yes, you can also use Adobe Capture on your mobile devices or within Photoshop. So if you actually have an image or you're out and about in the world and you see a piece of fabric or a poster walking down the street or something in a shop or whatever, that you look at it and you're like, those colors are amazing. You can actually just pull out Adobe Capture, take a picture of it, and it will extract a color palette theme from that image right then and there for you, which is really, really amazing. And then you can save it to your library from there. So that's also a cool way to do this. Let's see. This is kind of a nice one here with this. These are cool tones and with a splash of green. I do actually kind of like something along these lines, to be perfectly honest. Let's see. Maybe we can do camping cool tone. I don't know if that's gonna pull up something. Ooh, okay. This is cool. This is neat. So this has some cool tones that we could use as like main background colors, and then these highlight colors that are a bit warmer, but warmer than something like this, say, where these are much more saturated and these were a little more subdued, which I kind of like that. So that's an idea. Let's add that to our library, shall we? So we've added that to the Adobe Live Game Show. And then let's pick another one. I wonder, would you guys consider this a cool tone? Like, I feel like these are less subdued, or more subdued than like your average like greens, and it does have that cool blue. So I'm gonna go ahead and save that. Let's add that one to the library. Let's see, what else do we have? Camping cool tones. This is kind of cool, but I don't know if I like that yellow too much, because we kind of have one with yellow. Maybe the final one I will snag is this one. I don't know if that is, because we do have like this cool green, which could be our main color, and then use these as accents. That might be straying a little bit from our cool tones marker, but I'm gonna go ahead and add it anyways, just in case we want to do some variations of things. So I'll add that to my library. Now, when I come over to my, let me put this up here. When I come over to my Photoshop, I should be able to open, yep, check that out. Look, there is all of our color palettes right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and select all of these, and I'm just gonna drag this up into week 2, episode 1. And you should also, if you are following this, because you have the link from the Discord, you should now have these color palettes that you can start to work with alongside me if you wish. All right. Let's see what else we got. So we've got our colors. Shall we? Yes. Looks like earth tones. It does kind of look like earth tones. It might not be what we go with. I'm kind of trying to see how far I can stretch things in which direction a little bit, and we might get a little too adventurous for the constraints that we have for the project, but it's fun to experiment. Rocks, stones, gray, silver moonlight, beech wood, faded wood. I think you're on the right track, Clever. I really do. It reminds me of more of autumn colors palette. I think you're probably right, Dorina. Chili red, muted colors with a cool accent color. That could be cool too. Like maybe the cool tone is just like a cool accent tone instead of the other way around. We could experiment with that. All right, so we've got our color palette. Now let's adventure into the realm of Adobe fonts, shall we? Let's come over here and let's see what we can cook up over here. So we want, it says, you know, that we have to follow the minimalist kind of idea here for the theme of our work. I'm gonna go over here to Browse Fonts, and I'm gonna flip myself over here to this right-hand side because I want you guys to be able to see this. Sometimes when I don't know what kind of font I want to choose, I like to come in here and look at these tags in Adobe Fonts so that I have a visual representation of the kind of thing that I am looking for when it comes to my work. So, because I use a lot of really cool fonts, but I'm not actually very confident when it comes to choosing them for my projects. But if I can see them while I'm hunting instead of just looking for keywords and searching by terms that I don't always fully understand, this ends up being a lot easier. So let's see what we've got. We've got stencil. Stencil could be interesting. Shaded could be cool because, you know, you see those like camp signs sometimes that have like stenciled words or like kind of big blocky text that's still maybe very clean to go with our minimalist style. We could also do, there's also one that just says clean. I kind of want to jump into the shaded. Let's look through shaded and see what we got here. This is cool. This Calder. Oh, look, it even kind of has like a camp kind of vibe to it. That's actually cute. I feel like this is fun, but it's just muted enough to not be over the top for this project. I might actually kind of go with Calder. Let's license Calder, and then let's, you know, we'll kind of head back and look for a few more. I accidentally went backwards on that. Let's go activate fonts. Do I want all of these? Yeah, let's go for all of these. Oops, I'm gonna go all the way down the list and just mark all of these. We're gonna test them and see what we like. Okay, so we've got our Calder font, and the main one is, it looks like Calder Dark, or Calder Dark Grit Shadow is the one that I really want, but I'd like to have the option to have these, because like this one, Calder Dark Shadow, is basically like the gritty one, but it's a little cleaner, so if we decide that this is a little too pizzazzy for our minimalist theme, then we can switch to something that is exactly the same, but a little cleaner. Okay, so we have kind of a font that is like main font, like wordmark font. Now I feel like we should get a font to pair for copy, because you don't want your copy for any graphic work to be in the same font that you're using for your big announcement extravagant text, right? You don't want to be so in your face that it looks less professional. And you want people to take your design seriously. So you don't want to have like all your copy written in something like Elliot's. It's fun and it's cool, but like, I don't think people are going to take your design seriously as like a real professional project if you have a font that is extravagant like this and they have to read a paragraph of this. You know, you don't want to do that. So we have our fun font. It's on the minimal side compared to all the ones we could have chosen. Now let me undo shaded here and let's come up to clean and see what we can find. I'm thinking maybe something a little bit rounded, since the Calder font was very similar to this Hushka Pro, but maybe something with rounded ends instead of the hard ends there. Maybe we can actually come in here and say hand, we have mono. We can do sans serif. I think we definitely want sans serif for this. See if we can find something a little softer, a little rounder. This one is kind of cute right here, Brandon Grotesque. I might actually have this one already. Brandon Grotesque might actually pair very well. Let's go ahead and try this, and if we get into the project and we decide we need to come back and snag something else, we can do that. Okay, so we're gonna use Brandon Grotesque and Calder. Let me page this down, and I'm gonna show you how to add fonts to your Adobe libraries. So, I'm just gonna write in caps, title, or event title. Let's kind of center align this text, and we'll make it black for now. Let's make it black for the time being. And I'm not gonna choose a text size right now. I'm literally just going to free transform it and make it large because I just need to see what I'm working with right here. And I'm going to highlight. I'll come over here and let's just type in here Calder. So we should have our Calder Dark Grit Shadow. That's a cool font. That's neat. And then let's see what it looks like with our copy. I'm actually going to escape and delete this that I just clicked with the text tool, and I'm going to click, hold, and drag with my text tool to actually drag out like a text box that gives me some copy to play with. And this looks like it's a 32 point. I'm gonna go ahead and set this actually to like a 30 point. And I'm going to open my characters panel just to make sure that this is all spaced nicer. I don't know if it needs to be spaced like a full 30, like, well, that's fine for now. If you don't see your characters panel, or you don't see any of the panels that I typically use for my workspace, and you're a little confused as to how I'm accessing certain things as I go along in my process, all you have to do to find any of these panels is just to go up to Window, and you get a whole list of things right here where you can choose to show some things that are not visible for you, and you can also drag panels out and close them, or drag panels around and reorient orient them. So if I want something over here, I can put it over here, or whatever it is that I want to do. You can always reorganize your workspace the way that works well for you. I mean, Brandon isn't a looker, but to call him grotesque is just mean. What's up, Reverend Puck? It's good to see you, friend. Comic Sans and Papyrus. Got it. Listen, Puck. No, not today. Not today. You like this a lot, Stony? I do too. Let's see what it looks like with the Brandon Grotesque. I'm just going to highlight that and BRA, Brandon Grotesque. Let's do Brandon Grotesque regular. That's not bad. That's not bad. Like I said, I'm not, you know, I'm more of a illustration type girl and like compositing and doing graphic design with like shapes and things. And I will admit, I have a little bit of, I'm a little self-conscious of my type choices sometimes. So I would love to hear your feedback on what you think is a good type for this. But this might work. That might look nice. You know, it's like, it's supposed to be minimalist, but also we want it to have like kind of a warm, kind of jolly, like camp kind of feel, and that might do it. Val still loves me. Of course, Puck, of course. You must do what you feel is right, of course. General Kenobi, hello there. Welcome in, friend. That's my girl. No Comic Sans or Papyrus. Jess! Hello, Jess. It's good to see you. Welcome in. Okay, so we have our text. We have our fonts, so I'm going to add them. And I'm going to add them by making sure I have, let's select our event title. So up here it says that we have Calder selected. And if I open my layer panel here, I can come in and hit this plus button, and I should be able to click character style. If you try to add a font to your library and you don't see the option to add character style, it may be because you have a different tool selected other than the text tool. So for example, if I hit V on my keyboard to select the brush tool, and then I come up here and I press, oh, actually, it's still gonna let me do it. So never mind. But if for whatever reason you don't see it, you can switch to the text tool just in case it's not allowing it, and switching to the text tool will make sure that you have that, that available to you. So I'm gonna go ahead and just throw this right up here. So we have Calder Dark Grit set here, and then I'm going to select our other font here, our Brandon Grotesque, and I'm going to do the same thing, character style, and it should add Brandon Grotesque, and I'm going to throw that right up there. So we got our colors, we got our fonts, and now we're going to start creating the assets we're going to need to create our video promo for tomorrow. So we need a title. We do have like a really nice font here. I think the first thing I actually want to start out with is the logo, because I feel like the logo kind of gives a solid vibe to a project, like something that really says, this is the feel, this is what we're going for, and then everything else can kind of follow, right? Maybe you folks feel differently. I'd love to hear what you typically start with, or what your first instinct is to start with when you start working. But that's what it is for me when it comes to a project like this. I'm just gonna call this text here, so I've got that, and we're gonna look at our notes. Yeah, so we got our colors, fonts, our event title comes later, outdoorsy background comes later, logo first. So I'm gonna make a new layer. I'm gonna go Control-Shift-In. Oh, I should Control-Shift-In. I'm actually gonna name this. I'm gonna call this Logo Sketch. Boom, look at me being fancy naming my layers. I'm gonna call this Concept, just so I know that's my concept down there. And I'm gonna leave this one as just layer 0. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my stylus. You do not have to use a stylus for this. This is just my personal process, but I'm going to sketch around and see if we can't come up with a concept for this event logo. In my head, I instantly saw like an apple with the bite out of it. I don't know if that really goes well with what we want. But I think the most important part and thing to remember when it comes to sitting down and starting to brainstorm and concept for something like this is to get all of your ideas down on paper or down on your canvas in some way. Kind of document your thought process, because you might be onto something in the beginning and you don't think of that one thing that really ties it all together and brings it to life until later. But if you don't have kind of a record of your thought process while you're going through this portion of the process, you may end up spending more time or losing really great ideas that could actually have turned into very dynamic elements in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to, let me grab a black. I'm going to do, maybe I'll actually make my brush even smaller. I'm going to do like a circle just so I can kind of keep an eye on what I'm doing here. Make my brush a little thicker. And for me, I am going to kind of do like a little apple sketch here, maybe something like this. We'll have our little apple stem kind of come up there. Maybe there's a flower. I guess this is basically apple. Uh-oh, we accidentally are making a Mac camping event. Darn. So maybe we don't go with this, but it's there. The idea is there, okay? This is my, you know, my process. I'm learning what doesn't work. What do you folks think would be a great icon of sorts for this sort of thing? If we're doing like an outdoorsy, foodie kind of event for people who love to camp, or like a food truck preparation sort of thing. I kind of like the idea that it's going along with camping, so I think we're gonna stick with that, but we'll make it like a food themed sort of thing. Love watching me sketch. Thank you so much, Leah. I actually used to be really self-conscious about my sketches because I used to feel like everybody that was a better artist than me must have perfect sketches all the time, because I'd see their posts on social media and be like, wow, my sketches look like garbage when I do them. And then I realized, actually, spoiler alert, everybody's sketches typically look like garbage when they start them. It's just a fact of design life. And if your sketches don't look perfect and beautiful and wonderful when you sit down and start concepting your project, have faith in them, trust the process, and just keep chugging on, because that is okay. Hot dogs, cast iron pan over a flame, okay. Let's see, how could we do that dynamically? We can look up some reference. I'm going to pull up Pinterest real quick, and I am going to find myself some reference so that I can look at some inspiration while I try to come up with this concept. What I'm gonna do is, like I said, pull up Pinterest, and I'm going to type in, let's search for camping icon. Let's see what other people associate with camping, and let's see maybe some dynamic poses for certain items. We've got lanterns, we've got the cast iron pot over a flame, we've got, let's see, it looks like we've got a, like a lantern, we've got a lot of things. So we could do some things like this, maybe it's like, you know, something similar maybe to the flame emoji. We don't want to get too close to it, but we could do something like this. Oh, darn. Don't you guys hate it when you're trying to make a nice, cute, wholesome brand and you accidentally start drawing Fire Nation logos? Oh, I hate it when the Fire Nation attacks. This happens to me all the time. It's like last time we did this show. Don't you hate it when you just like look at your project you've been working on for a handful of hours and you realize you've just been drawing Baby Yoda the whole time? That sucks, man. Sucks. Okay, that's a flame. I promise it's a flame. It's gonna be a flame. And then there's a lot of creative ways that we can do a campfire. So we could do something like this, where it's like, you know, a teepee of kind of logs here could be interesting. That doesn't really look great to me. I don't know if I execute that properly. So I'm gonna scrap that. But another way to do it is just to do kind of like, you know, 2 logs. Maybe there's like a little break off the log here just to give it a more log vibe, and then do it on this side as well. So it's like this X, almost like a skull and crossbones, to be honest, which is maybe kind of weird, but I think it's kind of cute, like a little campfire thing. We can clean it up if we decide to go with this concept. I kind of like this. Jess was saying like a skillet over a flame, which I think is cute. So let's try a concept of that. We could do, I'm thinking we show like the inside of the pot like this. Maybe it's a little pot like so. Maybe it goes like that. Maybe it goes like that, I don't know. And maybe there's just some flames, you know, something like that. And then maybe we got our campfire here. I don't know. Just a concept. It doesn't have to look perfect. Don't get too precious with your concept sketches. Don't start feeling bad about them if they don't look perfect once you first do them. Just get those ideas out, folks. Let's see, another thing we can do, we really want to say food. There's also this is kind of cute. I've seen, I'm looking at like the minimalist, like the bare minimum of, you know, what people kind of do for an icon. There's also this kind of reoccurring theme where people have just a log like this, and then they have, let me kind of do something like this, like that, and then like that. So there's just, you know, like a little flame that has a couple of levels and then just one log. That's kind of cool. We'll throw that sketch in there and kind of revamp it and kind of add our own little spin on it maybe. I kind of like that, to be honest. I do like it. I'm cracking up at you. Yeah, skull and crossbones fire. Yes. Reclaim the flame, sorry. Let me take that again. What's up, Austin? It's good to see you. Story of my life, everything I do is just the poop emoji. It happens to me all the time. All the time. Marshmallow and s'mores, it's a great idea, Raphael. Maybe we do, so you know how sometimes like outdoorsy kind of natural earthy type brands have something that's like, you know, there's like an arrow, maybe, and then maybe something else here like that. I don't know what it would be. And then there's like a symbol here and a symbol here and a symbol here and a symbol here, you know, and then it'll have like a title and little brackets and then, I don't know, maybe something out here. Maybe there's like a date and something else and I don't know. It's not a design that I usually go with, but something like that. We could do something similar to that, where it is like a stick with like a marshmallow on it, and then a stick with a hot dog on it to kind of combine some of the ideas of marshmallows and hot dogs we've had in the chat. I see jerky from John Kraus. Reverend Puck is saying stuff with folding chairs. Oat seeds, sunflowers from Clever Devlin. Banana chips, candy button, almonds. Yeah, we could do like an almond maybe, because it's like trail mix kind of thing. So that's actually a really good idea. I'm gonna go ahead and make like a little handled thing here, and we're gonna put like a marshmallow kind of idea going on. I'm gonna maybe select this and kind of bump this over like so. There we go. So we have like a, you know, like a marshmallow. This might be getting too illustrative. We will be like making this more graphic-esque. We're gonna kind of vectorize it with the pen tool and stuff like that. And this might be a little bit much as far as a logo goes. But we could be interesting with it. Maybe it's not like an icon type logo that we're doing. Maybe we do just like a standard recognizable illustration that goes with this event and is associated with this event. We are kind of the masters of this realm, and nobody can tell us what we can and can't do. We can make it whatever we want. So this one's a stick. Maybe this one is like this, and then we have like our hot dog kind of jammed on here. That's kind of cool. Got our little hot dog. That's you know, interesting idea, maybe. It actually gives me an idea that maybe we just do something like this. Maybe we do a little hot dog roast kind of thing here. I'm clicking L on the keyboard, by the way, to pull up my lasso tool just so I can lasso real quick, and then Control or Command T to transform. Actually, Control J to duplicate, and then Control or Command T to transform, just to kind of duplicate that real quick. And then you can do Control or Command E to merge the layer that you're on down to the next layer. So there's our little, there's a little dog there. And maybe we give it some tasty crosshatch on there, I don't know. And then maybe the icon is literally just like this pronged fork that has the hot dog on it. Maybe that could be something interesting there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something there. You know? Some sort of thing like that. Maybe we make these a little bit shorter. Maybe they don't have to be that long. Okay. And then, I don't know, maybe there's like some kind of scroll here that, you know, does its thing and says the title of our place. I don't know. That actually is kind of neat. Maybe it won't be exactly like that, but that's kind of a cool concept. Okay. What do you guys think? What do you guys lean in towards? Love the tips and shortcuts. My pleasure, Katie. Anything I can do to help you folks kind of improve the flow of your workflow, you know, and your process, the better, because sometimes it's not about like not really knowing the design side of things or being unfamiliar with design. Sometimes it's also a big chunk of having a very long workflow. It's just not really being comfortable or knowing where your tools are in the program you're using. So, fire in the background and title text in the negative as well. Let's see. I'm actually going to, let's duplicate this and let's see if we can add like flame like that, maybe. I don't know. That actually kind of starts to round it out in an interesting way. I wonder if we could get away with putting the log there and kind of combining these two. I don't know if it makes sense for the handle of the roast, the dog roast, the hot dog roast to be there, but it could work. It could be just, you know, like the campfire is there. We got our little roast. I think maybe that adds a little too much, but we could get away with putting a title right there on the log, to be honest. I don't know, just kind of spitballing, getting that out there. I'm not sure. I honestly, like, I kind of like that. I really do. We could also get away with doing like the skull and crossbones kind of thing, just with this, this sort of thing right here, and this right here. I'm gonna duplicate that. I think it needs duplication. We might be able to get away with something like that. And if we like kind of erase around the edges, because I think that still reads and shows you what that is back there. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of like it though. Can kind of experiment with that. I'm still always kind of leaning back on this shape though, like that shape. So let's try to incorporate that. I'm gonna turn this down on a lower opacity just so I can barely see my sketches, and I'm gonna start doing something that's a little more refined. So we kind of want to take this, because I am seeing like this right here a lot. on the web as far as what people think of when they think of camping. And we kind of want food mixed in with it, but I feel like campfire works. Let's see. What if we just do okay, hear me out. We do the flame. You know what I want to do is I want to not have so much detail in the flame. I want the flame to just be, I'll add little cutouts and stuff at a later time, but let's just do something like this. We put the log, okay? Hear me out. I think I might be onto something. We put the log, maybe more here. We put this log. And then what if we have a marshmallow kind of coming into here? Like if I come over here, let's snag this, duplicate it, throw it up here, turn that fill up. And what if we have like the marshmallow coming into the flames? That could be cool, or the hot dog, or whatever we choose. You could do something like that, because I'm kind of digging this log. Not sure if you've heard of the Noun Project. Yes, I have heard of the Noun Project. I actually have. Flame over the sausage instead of the log so it can be rounded. Let's see. Let's grab. Let's come back and grab this. So it's just, maybe it's just the, like on the hot dog? Is that what you mean? Because that could work. Control J to duplicate. Let me turn the fill up on this. Because I do like the hot dog kind of shape. So let's see. Maybe we do where the flame kind of goes with the curve of the hot dog. What if we did? Something like that. I mean, it's not clean, but, you know, gets the point across. Maybe there's a flame there. And then we could still do that scroll, that initial scroll type thing. Let's see how, might be a little too detailed, but once we kind of make it different, kind of clean it up, it could be interesting. That could be a thought, maybe making that flame, let me actually, I'm going to select this and I'm going to take this flame that we sketched because I kind of like this better. So I'm going to Control K, or Control K, Control X just to delete that real quick. I'm going to clean this up a little more. Control X just to delete it. And then I'm going to grab, I'm holding Control and clicking around to some of the line art on here, and you'll notice as I click around, it will actually change over here on the left-hand side if you can see it. Let me move me over here to the left. As I click, I hold Control. You can see it changes my cursor into that little pointer. As I click on various line arts, you can see on the right-hand side, it actually changes to the layer that line art is on. So I'm like selecting to make sure that I'm on the layer I want to be on. I'll hide that. And then I'm going to hit L and I'm gonna come in here with some of this and I'm gonna snag this right here. Control J. Control T. Well, no, guys. Oops. Did not mean to do that. I'm kind of liking it. Honestly, this kind of has more of a badge. Oh, why didn't we think of badges? Bottom round curve of the wiener is the bottom of the flame. Might be a tangent, but maybe it would work. Yeah, like kind of just at least get like, you know, the scroll kind of lines up with that curve and it kind of goes with the shape of the flame. I'm gonna merge this. I'm gonna merge this all down. And I'm going to select this and Control J, put that on its own layer. And I'm gonna work with this right here. Okay, this is kind of interesting. What if I duplicate this and we actually put it in a badge shape? Okay, what if we do something like this? Try not to be too tangenty. Maybe we get rid of the scroll, X. Bring this flame down, and maybe the flame kind of comes down and the flame could be part of the badge. So let me actually draw a badge shape. So I'm thinking it's gonna be something like this, you know, so we can throw the flame in there. Oh, maybe this line, this little jagged line here is an accident, but it's also kind of a mountain. It also makes a mountain. So maybe we let it make a mountain. And then what if we put our crossed logs here? Bear with me. Maybe we use the crossed logs. And then throw our little campfire with the roasted hot dog in there. Or we could also get rid of, we could also get rid of the mountains entirely. I just kind of thought that was cute a little bit. Let's, I'm gonna duplicate this. Control D for deselect, Control J to duplicate, and Control T to free transform. I'm going to erase the mountains out of here. I feel like I'm onto something. And let's transform and make that a little larger. So that kind of goes with, maybe it's a tangent with the edge of this, and maybe we do, like, I'm gonna say camping badge shapes. Camping badge shapes in my, reference over here. I don't know if you can hear, but my very small tiny baby dog is at my office door right now, freaking out. I think he wants to come in here and say hello. Do you guys want a doggo cam? Would you guys like to meet my dog, Pee Pee Herman? Would you guys like to meet Pee Pee Herman? Because he's very sweet. He's a very sweet baby. Bring the doggy in? All right, give me one moment. I am going to bring doggy in. Give me 1 second. I will get him for you. Sweet baby. Hello. Would you like to meet Adobe? Hello. Ooh. Okay, let's see. This is my sweet boy. Don't step on mommy's keyboard, please. Okay, are you ready? He's my little wolf. That's my baby. Say hello. I love you. Okay, this is my design dog. This is my design partner. He actually handles all of the financial portions of my business. He's the one that is brokering all the deals behind the scenes, and he's the one that communicates with all of my clients for me. If you want to be successful, you're gonna need to get one of these. Adobe Live has peaked. All right, I love you. Thank you for the kisses. Say bye-bye. Say bye, little man. Oh, I love you. Oh no, I love you. Okay, all right, let's go. Let me put him back. Adobe Doggo Cam. All right, go see. Good boy. Okay, we're back. Okay. My dog is getting jealous now. All your payments must be made in milk bone, yes. Indeed, indeed. Look at his mane, I'm in love. Yeah, he's a long hair Chihuahua. He's a long hair Chihuahua. He's a sweet baby. Okay, I like this shape. The last thing I'm gonna try before I just choose one of our ideas is I am going to take this idea, this first one over here. I'll duplicate that. We'll bring it down here, and I am going to remove the flame. I don't know if that will still translate with the logs. Maybe I'll remove the logs too. Maybe I'll remove the logs too. We'll kind of let this develop a little bit. I think we got this. I think this might actually end up being a good one though. Let's see if we can, oops, kind of bring this little pronged fork down and around like that. Let's bring this up. Make it a little bigger. And then what if we just do, maybe it's a little more simple, but just do something like this and then have like a title right here. So we just have like, maybe it's like a hot dog roast event. Maybe it's like, we're saying it's centered around food, but maybe it's like actually like an event for people who are like super good at campfire food. And so the main centerpiece of the logo badge type design is just like a roasting hot dog. In fact, what if we took this, hold on. What if we took our mountains and put our mountains like this? Like we can pull this up, okay? Control D for deselect. And put our mountains down below. So we get our little line, like so. Grab our mountains, even though these are like weird little sketches. Grab our mountains and put them down here. I kind of like this. Uh-oh, are we doing it? Is it happening? It might be happening, everyone. So we have our little roast going on. Maybe we'll put one of the mountains behind it, and then maybe this has like the 31st annual, you know, something, 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 and then the wiener roast. I kind of like it. I kind of like this. This might be it. This might be it. What do you guys think? I kind of like this. It's maybe a different shape. It's an archway. I don't know if you guys have anything against like the arch shape. I'm personally a big fan of it. Like I actually really like it. Is the thing happening? Yes, I think the thing is happening. I think we're gonna go with that, to be perfectly honest. I'm gonna hide all this other stuff. I'm gonna bring this up to the top. I'm going to put this in a group together and call these logo or badge sketches, badge sketches. So those are all there. And then we have this one. So let's clean this up. I actually like it. I think it's cute. I think it could use, you know, some love, but this is kind of neat. The 31st Annual Master Roast, hosted by Gordon Ramsay. That sounds horrifying. Terrifying. I don't know if I could stand cooking for Gordon Ramsay. I think that the man would terrify me. Okay, so let's get into some serious kind of vectorizing graphicizing. I don't think that's a word. I don't think you should use that in a professional setting, but you can use it here if you want. I accept it. Let's use some shapes. So I'm gonna grab the rectangle tool. Let's do the rectangle tool and let's drag this out. We're just gonna create this right next to itself here. And we are going to make this a 0 fill with a black stroke. Let's do a black stroke on this. And let's pull the corners in. I'm actually going to bring these corners in by like 100 on the top. Ooh, I don't want to lock it. I don't want to lock it. Let me control. So I'm gonna, if you have your corners here locked, you can pull them in and out and all that good stuff. But if I unlock them, then I should be able, let me see, should be able to go like that. Okay, so 482 makes the top rounded, nice and pretty. I'm gonna make sure it's unlocked, and I'm gonna set these bottom ones back to 10. And now I have my arch. And this is in the properties panel. If you don't see the properties panel, again, like I said before, you can come up to window and then scroll down to properties and you can open your properties panel. So now I have our arch already created. We can also get extra fancy, and if we want to, we can duplicate this, flip it around, bring it over here, make it tiny, make it teeny tiny, and that is gonna be our roast skewer right there. Boom, there's our roast skewer already. We've got it in place. We are working in some super fast magic here. To get our roast, let's use our masking tool. I'm gonna just come in here. I'm going to select a portion of it and I'm gonna mask. Boom, there's our skewer right there. Ta-da! And I'm gonna make sure that, you know what I wanna do is I wanna make sure this is actually centered. So let me straight up center this whole thing. There we go. And I am going to move our sketch over here. So there's our skewer. We also want to put our little bar down at the bottom here. So I'm just going to grab our rectangle, duplicate our rectangle, open our properties panel, and I am going to set all of these now. Make sure they're locked. I'm gonna set all of them to 10. So it's a square, square corners again. And then I am just going to make sure I have my shape tool selected, and I'm just gonna drag that right down. Boom, there we go. So now we have our little bar down here at the bottom. We will come in with we could do a line tool if we want to. Let's right click here and grab our line tool. Let me make sure I'm not blocking anything, by the way. I wanna make sure I'm over here. We'll grab our line tool, which is located behind our rectangle tool. Grab our line tool, and we will carry it down right there, and it is still 43 pixels apart. I'm sorry if that makes anybody's eye twitch that I've set this to 43 pixels, but you know what? It looks like a good weight to me, and I'm not anxious to get too terribly precious with it. So there's our skewer. Now we have to put in our shapes for the mountains. So let's see how we're gonna do that. I think I'm going to, under the layer, because none of these are filled, this is all lines, none of these are filled, so I'm gonna come in with a triangle tool. Let's make ourselves like a little triangle, like so. Let's round these corners just a tad, like so. Let's hit that stroke, make that black, make sure we don't fill it at all. And let me free transform this. I'm going to drag this over here. And let's see, one of those is right here. Let's kind of bump that out like that. Boom, there's a mountain. And let's do another one. Control J or Command J if you're on a Mac. Let's create another mountain right here. There we go. Kind of need actually this to come in like so. Boom. And then how do we make this so that we don't show any of the portions that we don't want to be viewed? I'm just going to use a mask, and I'm going to use my rectangular marquee tool. So I'm going to come in here. This is this one over here. I want to make sure that this doesn't show. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to make sure that this doesn't show, and I am going to right click, select inverse, and mask that. Well, oh, I was selected on the wrong one. Mask that, boom. I'm I'm also gonna need to mask this portion. So I'm just gonna come in here and make sure I'm selected on my mask. You don't have to use a stylus for this. You can just use selection tool, but I'm just going to grab black on my brush. And I am going to mask that right out. Just remove that like so. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with this other triangle. I might move it over just a tad, like so. And we are also going to, with our marquee tool, we're gonna select the things that we don't want to show, like that, right click, select inverse, and mask it. Boom, there we have some mountains going on. And then I'm gonna use the pen tool and give us like a little slope, shall we? Let's do pen tool. You can press, I believe, P on your keyboard, and you should be able to jump into the pen tool. I'm gonna make a new layer with Control Shift N, and I am gonna do just like a nice kind of sloping hill. I think that's what we're gonna do. Boom. We're gonna say make a shape. Ta-da! Can we do a shape? Let's come into our, over here, let's go into our properties. It made us a shape path. I don't know that it actually created us a shape though. There's P on my keyboard. Can we make it a shape? I wonder why that is not doing that. It's got a white stroke on it. Let's put a black stroke on it. Oh, it did it. I don't know why it's doing the inverse. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I don't know if anyone has ever run into the issue where it's making a shape out of the inverse of what you selected. And I'm gonna try and solve that between now and tomorrow's episode. So for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the workaround with it, and I'm just gonna make a selection and say okay, and I am going to right click and select inverse to make sure it's only this little portion that we have here, and I'm going to fill it with black, turn that fill down, double click this layer, and throw a stroke on it. And we're gonna make sure that this, oops, let me pull this down here where you can see it. We're gonna make sure that this stroke is black, and we're gonna make sure that it is 43, just like the rest of it. Boom. And then we're gonna do the same thing with this, in that we are going to mask it. So I am going to drag my little rectangular marquee out, start masking some things, right click, select inverse, and then we're gonna mask, or we should have masked. Maybe I didn't need to select inverse on that. No, I sure did. Oh, because it, okay, hold on, I have to rasterize it. I'm gonna rasterize it because what I don't want is for it, I don't want to mask an item that currently, like an element that currently has a stroke applied to it when it is not actually like a shape, because if I do that, then it actually makes the shape smaller and masked, but it's still applying that stroke after the fact. It's not the same as doing it like a shape. So what I need to do is rasterize so I just have the outline of that and then mask it. Let me actually do the inverse now that I had reversed that. And there, now it actually does what we wanted it to do. And then the last thing I'm going to do is come in here to my little, my line and things, and I'm going to throw a mask on these just to make sure that stuff is masked behind the scenes here. So certain things aren't showing. I'm holding control. I'm just gonna click there and let it bring me to the right layer there. Make sure I have my mask selected and do a little bit of this. Ta-da! So now we have it reading a little bit better. I'm not actually sure if I love that or not, to be perfectly honest. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it for now because I don't, like, we have about 20 minutes left and I don't want to get too terribly precious. What I probably will do is I will come back to this in like 45 minutes and kind of look at it with fresh eyes, you know, and give it a once over. But I like this concept. I'm gonna follow through with it and I'm just gonna kind of keep on. But it's this right here. You see this little weird area, how it gives me that strange little pocket there of space, and it kind of loses the dynamic design and the readability right there. So I'm gonna tweak it. I'll probably do it in between streams, but for now we're gonna leave it and we're gonna just kind of go with this. Okay, so next is we do need this this wiener shape kind of for our hot dog. So how are we, what's the best way to do that? We might just use the pen tool for that as well. We could also, let's see, could also do a custom shape. I don't know how great I would be at doing a custom shape. Ooh. No, we're not gonna do it that way. We are not. I am gonna use the pen tool and I'm gonna trace this hot dog that I made. So I'm gonna come in here with the P tool, press P on the keyboard, Control Shift N to make a new layer. And I am going to come in here from the center and I'm gonna do one side of this. I'm gonna hold Alt so that I can kind of alter and drag that around. Boom, we're gonna drag this out right here just to give this a little more space there. Boom, and I'm just gonna connect that right in. Let me click this. I can hold Control and click to reselect a point I've previously placed, and then hold Alt once I see the arms come out there and I have it, and then I'm going to say make a selection, and then I'm gonna do the same thing that I did before, is I'm just gonna paint bucket in. Oops, select inverse. Yeah, that's a new one for me, honestly, is seeing that when I try to make a shape that it's doing like the inverse of my selection. I wonder if I must have just clicked a wrong setting that I've never actually done before. So I'm gonna resolve that, and then maybe if there's anybody in chat that's actually run into this issue before, I can help you solve that. So I'm just going to select this and I'm gonna bump this over here. Control E, let's bring this over here. It's not extra clean. I think I can just mask. I'm gonna add a mask here and I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna mask it. Normally I'd be a little cleaner about this, to be perfectly honest. Like I would be very specific about how I do this. But I'm just gonna do that for now. That's good enough for me. And I am going to turn the fill down on the hot dog, and I'm going to double click and I'm gonna add a stroke. So we have our little curved hot dog, okay? And I am going to transform it and we're gonna throw it in here. We're gonna throw it in there. I like it. I like it. It needs some work, but I'm pleased with how it's coming along. Let's grab. I'm gonna hold Control and click my little prong here. Go into the mask, and I'm going to mask out this part that is supposed to be kind of coming from the hot dog. You know what we could also do is we could just mask a portion of it, so some of this still kind of continues down to look like it's coming through the dog. I'm not sure if we should do that or not. It's possible. So it's like stabbing through the center of the dog. And then what we can do is grab the line tool, just make a line, grab that, kind of bring that in a little bit, and I don't know, but let's see, let's throw a mask on that, and then let's mask with the, actually let's use the marquee tool to mask. Let's kind of come in here like so, kind of using my guides here. Boom. Select inverse and throw a mask on that. I don't know if that looks, no, I don't think that reads. I don't think that reads very well at all. I'm just gonna mask that whole thing. So we'll mask that, and we can add some more details and stuff, but we kind of have our little badge that I will tweak. Looks a bit like a cowboy. Oh, you're right. Oh no, it does look like a cowboy. Okay, hold on. What if we add lines, and then we add like, thank you for catching that. That's something when you look at a design for a long time, you don't really put things together when you're really intending for it to be one thing. So this is great. Let's see, let's throw some lines on this. Let's try to make it read like a hot dog more. So I'm gonna throw these little lines here, okay. And then we're gonna put maybe some steam. I'm not sure how, let me see. Let's see, I'm starting to, maybe we just do the 3 because I don't really want to get into like the detail there of how that works to kind of change those lines around. We could just do them straight up and down, but I don't want it to look like something else. So let's do it like that for now. And then I am going to come in with the lasso tool and I'm just gonna, how am I gonna do this? No, I'm gonna come in with my brush tool with the smoothing on. Actually, let's do some serious smoothing. And let's grab like a basic brush. This is a basic brush that is just in Photoshop. Make a new layer. And with the smoothing on, I'm going to, let's do, smoothing. Oh, I turned the flow down. What the heck? Let's turn the smoothing up. Let's crank it all the way up. Well, no. It's like a little, like, steam line, kinda. Let's duplicate this, kind of bring that over. That sort of looks like steam hot doggy stuff to me. Maybe we change like this stuff, you know, so this isn't a horizon line sort of thing. Like maybe it's something else. Maybe we put trees down there or something. Or maybe we still do like the campfire thing, but like at least this portion I'm actually pretty pleased with. So I might leave it at that. Pretty cool design so far. Thanks, Karem, I appreciate it. Maybe rotate it a bit so it's not vertical. Oh, to kind of like tilt the hot dog itself. Let's try that. There's the dog. There's the lines. G. Boom. Okay. You might be a genius. Actually, I'm going to tilt it the other way, I think. Oh no, maybe we do need it the other way. I'm like turning my head this way and that. That could work. Okay, let's come back down into our little prong here. And because this is a mask, okay, because we've masked this, we can actually go back and revert to so much of our first initial skewer, there we go, our first initial shape that we had, because we didn't erase from this. It's really important to use masks and smart objects and work as non-destructively as you possibly can, folks, because if you decide, you know, because when I first started doing this, I was like, oh, that's it. You know, I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about changing it because I've made up my mind that this is what I want. But you really never know if you're going to change your mind about something or not. And another thing that you can never know is whether or not a client will ask you to change something or not. You can create something that you feel is like the greatest thing you have ever made, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your client is going to feel the same way. And they might see something and be like, you know what? This has got to go. And then what are you going to do if you've actually erased from portions of your assets? You're either going to have to try and repair them. If you don't have originals, you're going to have to load back in an original image and try to recreate something from scratch and then go in the different direction they asked you to go. I don't recommend doing that. All right, so we got our hot dog. Not bad. I think it needs to be bumped over, to be honest. Like so, maybe. That might work. We'll play with it. We'll play with it. Could look better to skew the skewer. That's also an idea. I wonder though if then like the kind of like steam would make less sense at that point. I'm gonna try I'm gonna try adding the flame that we originally thought might work, and just see what we can come up with on that front. I'm going to remove those things, and I am going to take this rectangle that we have as like our main archway, duplicate it with Control J. I'm going to flip it upside down, and I'm going to widen it like so. Okay, and I am going to, I think I'm gonna turn this into a live shape, and I'm gonna start moving things around like it's a live shape. Yes, we want to turn it into a live shape, because if I can do this, yes, check it out. I'm just starting to edit this like so that I can really kind of, I can really kind of get in here. I wanna move this around. I wanna move this whole point. I'm gonna create a flame. Let me transform this. Can I transform this whole thing? I could, but I'll wait. I kind of want this to bow out. Let me click here and see if I can't. Oh. Where is the handle for this? I want the arm for, there we go. There it is. Okay. I want the arm for that so that I can kind of warp this over. It's a little meh. I'm not exactly sure why that is sending that one flame arm like way up there. I don't know, but I'm gonna figure it out and we're gonna troubleshoot it. So we've, oops. I want to, let's kind of bump this out. Maybe I can kind of see it a little bit better. I selected V on my keyboard for the move tool. And I'll come back into the pen tool and select. What I've done is right click it or control click it so that I can kind of get this back here. Okay, so what's the deal? I'm just going to click and remove that point altogether is what I'm going to do. Let's add a point in from there. There we go. That's a little cleaner. A little bit cleaner. We can kind of mess with that. Oh, I might have been moving the wrong arm, to be honest. Okay. I think I might have it. Let's see. I honestly very seldomly like go into editing something directly from a shape to like a live shape and just start changing it up like this. So this is a little bit new for me, to be perfectly honest, a little out of my comfort zone. But I think if I noodle with it, I can make something that I'm actually confident in. Val is still working with the ideation for this logo and started in Photoshop. Yes. Now, the last thing that we need to do is to create a background for it. And I think we spent a little more time on like the logo portion of this than I initially expected that we would. But I'm not too worried about it because the background, we've got about 15 minutes, and the background is more of a composite kind of design where we can go to we can go get some stock images and create some get like a cork board, you know, and get some paper textures and things like that, and kind of start putting things together in that way, because it does not have to be like a graphic. Well, it'll sort of be graphic, but not so much that it's going to need like the same amount of time we just spent on this logo. I'm noodling with this. It's gonna maybe take me a little bit of time to get something that is a little more rounded that I can be proud of. It still looks like the Fire Nation logo to me, which is driving me crazy. It's driving me nuts, but that's okay. I can continue to change it up. I think that point is too long, and I think that this needs to come down as well. That's kind of cool. What if we did that? If we just pull it in the other way? No, maybe not. I don't know. That could be interesting. So it's not like your average flame graphic. That could be something that is cool. I don't know if it looks more like mountains. I'm not sure, but it's fun to experiment. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone so that we stop wasting the time on it, because I'm sure, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes if I get off on a tangent, then I'm really off on a tangent. I'm going to, no, I don't want to duplicate that. I want to take this shape that we've made, and I am going to, I am going to duplicate this. I'm going to call this flame. And then I'm going to take this and rasterize it just so I have like a shape, duplicate it. We'll throw that in like this, just so we have like a little flame, which I can clean up at a later date. And then maybe we will throw it in here and see what we can do. I don't know if it's going to, no, I don't think that works. I really don't. I think it's like the shape of it is not really gonna do its thing, but that's okay. We will go back to our mountains and I will make some shapes and I will add them into our library for tomorrow, and I will show you guys what I came up with. And let's see, let me unhide these. Let me find where our little, okay, maybe I just added too many mountains, because I have my little soft mountain here and that looks good with the sun in the sky. That doesn't look too bad, having that little mountain over there. Maybe I just need like a tree icon or something smaller. Or maybe I just need to scrunch this in and maybe bring it up. Maybe I just need little trees here. And they don't have to be extra, oops. Maybe they shouldn't be like extra crazy. Let me grab my triangle. Here we go. I'm gonna hide these. Let's grab my triangle shape tool. Let's just do some trees. Let's round it just slightly and see if trying to get too detailed was our downfall here. Because it very well might have been. We'll mask things, obviously. Let's throw one right there. Let's duplicate it and throw another one over here. Maybe, maybe. We might just do that. See how I feel tomorrow. Maybe we'll put our sun down here. I don't know. Okay, and then let's grab some line tools and see if that just kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Line tool. I'm gonna center these a little bit better. On a new layer, how much time do we have? I have about 10 minutes. And let's make that stroke black. Boom. And let's do the same thing here. Ta-da! And boom, let's do the same thing there. And then let's come in here to, let me select my little soft mountain here, and let's see if we can mask that. Make sure we're on our mask. And just get some little trees in there. That's a little bit of a tangent right there with that one tree. So let's select it and move it down a little bit. And then select our little wave here. Mask it. Okay. Not perfect, but maybe a little bit more readable. We could have put a tent on that side, actually. Instead of doing, so there's two trees, we can put a sun here, and then maybe this triangle actually is a tent. That might really do it for us. Let's see. Let me select this here, grab my brush. Can I, why is that? Let me go to that. Another thing that you can do if you are control clicking something and you cannot find the layer, like it's not really navigating to the layer for you because maybe there's something transparent above it and it's selecting something else, you can always control and right click instead of control and left click and you can find this. So I've masked that out so it's really not showing. Maybe if I come here and click on this black, it goes to layer 11. There it is. Okay, so let me select this. We'll come back to oh, you know what I might have done is I might have actually like drawn on it when I masked that out. Okay, there we go. Let's try this. I'm going to turn that. So I went back a little bit. I'm going to find this. We will mask that part out only. Hold V or hold Control and click my little triangle. We're gonna make this a tent. We're gonna put a little tent here. And we're going to take a line and just put a, I think we're gonna just put a line here if we can. Transform that and bring it down. Ta-da! And then we're gonna drag this up here. And we're gonna mask this guy. Make sure I'm masking and I'm not erasing and I have my mask selected. We can work with this. We can work with it. I think I'm gonna still noodle, but now we can start making it look more like a little campsite rather than like a bigger landscape, which I think will probably serve us. Maybe I'll put that there. I don't know. And then maybe put another tree back here. Can I do that? V, select this. Yes, there we go. Triangle, and what is this? Line 5 and triangle copy 2. Oops. Select those. Let's group that. I think that's a tree. Yes, it is a tree. Let's grab it and we'll put, don't want to make a tangent, but I do want to put something over here. Maybe it's not a tree, maybe it's a, like a bird or something. You know, maybe we come in here with our brush. And we've got about 5 minutes left, so I'm trying to keep track of time here. Our smoothing is on, so maybe we just add like a bird kind of flowing. Let's see, maybe we'll do it like that, and then we'll duplicate the wings. So we can do a couple of them. There we go. Control J, we'll flip it. And we're gonna be doing some video editing tomorrow. And the thing about video editing is that we're gonna be using Rush, and I actually have a pretty fast process when it comes to creating things in Rush and getting our videos down. And what I'm trying to do with these episodes for this week is actually see if I can help you folks create like a pretty quick video editing process, especially if you're not very familiar with it. So I think what we'll do is I will gather some assets for our background in between our streams, and I will put them into the library, and then tomorrow I will put together the background real quick, and then we will dive into creating some of the motion and throwing it into our Rush project, and we should finish it by the end of tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know if it's awful or not. You know what? You know when you make something, you're like, I don't hate it, but I'm not sure. So I'm gonna kind of let my brain rest on it a little bit and see how I feel when I come back to it. But we've got our little badge, our little dog roast, our hot dog roast badge. And if we wanted to, we could come in here with our text tool and maybe put in like 31st. Annual and, oh wait, is it 2 N's? Annual. Let's get like a cleaner. This is the last thing I'm gonna do before we take off because I don't want to get cut off here. 31st annual. I'll throw that there. And then under here in the big letters we could do roast. And hot dog roast, camp roast, 31st annual camp roast, however we want to do it. We can do some interesting stuff with that. But we can start kind of taking all this and really, let's see if I can, did that group everything? Grouping it all together and start adding some other things to it, which I think is actually pretty darn neat. So it'll come together. That is all the time I have for today because we are at a couple minutes left until I have to go. I'm actually pretty excited about this, especially once we start like making things move, because we can actually make those the steam move tomorrow. We can make we can actually make those birds hover, because maybe the part of the poster that we do, because we've got nature, we've got minimalism, we've got like that this is an event, and we've got food added from our words right now. But we need to add our colors in, and we also need to kind of add in our poster type thing. So maybe it's like an animated poster in the video for tomorrow, which would be really, really cool. So if you folks have any ideas, please feel free to throw them into the Discord. If you have any sketches or anything that you would like to share with me, please feel free to put them in the Discord. I'm going to be checking them in about an hour. I got to go get myself a designer snack. I need a snack. I need some creative fuel. And then I'm going to see you folks tomorrow. So we're going to finalize the visuals on this, and then we are going to make a video with it in Adobe Rush, which I'm very excited about. So thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate you guys being here and participating in this. I hope that you enjoyed the show, and I will see y'all tomorrow. So please stay tuned, because we do have some pretty cool stuff coming up after me, which I know that you will want to check out, and I will see you guys later. Adios, everybody.